Hello there, good to see you again. Glad you're here. We've made it to Friday. Um, basically, I thought we'd gone through this far with Psalm 127. We should really just finish off. But rather than continue on the construction focus, which I think we've all agree we have definitely covered and done to death, it was really just reflecting on the fact that, especially now, obviously not in Scotland, but in England, you see people beginning to go back to work. And before lockdown, the big kind of debate that seemed to be in so many newspaper articles, so many magazines. Did your life have the correct work-life balance? Were you having enough time with your family? Were you having enough time for yourself? Were you having enough time with work? That was really the question, the way it was put. Did you have too much time with work? It's just this verse 2. In vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat. For he grants sleep to those he loves. This is the verse that I really do remember singing. In vain you rise early and stay up late. And in the Ian White lyric, eating the bread of anxious toil, for the Lord grants sleep to those he loves. There's just this concern, this this peace which our Heavenly Father wants for us. I get the fact that for a lot of people, not only do they have peace, they've had more than enough of peace, now they're bored with peace, now the whole thing is just let's get back to work, let's get this children back to school. There's a kind of there's definitely an anxiety about just this cannot keep going on. But I guess I'm just reflecting on the fact that if we're going back, not having learned anything after 8 weeks, if we're going back to the same too much overtime, too much kind of testosterone work patterns where managers, you get paid for a certain amount, but everybody knows you have to work so much more to be considered a true member of the company, or you know, the kind of, if you don't take home 2 hours of work and marking, if you're a teacher, then you're not really a real teacher. It's just this, in vain you rise early and stay up late. Have we learned that? Have I learned that? Have you learned that? There's this recognition all the way through. We can do lockdown well, or we can do lockdown badly. And I'm not necessarily saying badly. It's defined as losing your temper with everybody and, you know, staying in bed till who knows when. Doing lockdown badly could be failing to learn the lessons from this particular enforced season apart. But recognize that before Jesus embarked on his work in his ministry, he went into the desert for 40 days and for 40 nights. Why did he do that? Why does Matthew record this retreat that Jesus goes on before he actually goes head to head with the Pharisees, starts doing the miracles, starts doing the teaching? There's one of the principles from the Genesis narratives. Night always comes first, followed by day. I think most people tend to feel their perspective is psychologically, they see the day ending with the night. What you have in Genesis is the fact that the day starts with night. There was night, and then there was day, and that was the first day. We're supposed to recognize that resting in God is what happens first. And from that place of rest, we do what we're meant to do in the day. From that place of peace, from that place of preparedness. When it becomes you rise early and stay up late, you've turned it around. Then it's anxiousness that's defining the day. It's worry and concern. You start from a place of rest and you go into that, whatever it is you're meant to do. And you see that in Matthew when he goes into the desert for his 40 days apart. You see that emphasis on peace and rest with God is where we begin. And from that place of peace, we go to do the work that we're called to do. I really do have a cold. I just have a cold. It's just when I sit in front of this blasted laptop that I start coughing all the time. If we're going back to work, or if our employers are talking about us going back to work, or if we ourselves are mentally thinking through what is it going to mean for us to go back to work, in practice, have we actually got ourselves to that point where we are in a place of peace, a place of rest, out of which we go back to work? Have we had the benefit of lockdown? Or has it just been more anxiousness, more worry, more concern? Psalm 127 is quite plain. If you're rising early and staying up late, you're doing it in vain. Because ultimately, it's us being in a right position with God that is the crucial thing. Not how many hours we manage to fit into the working day. I hope it's not too late for you to have sufficient rest remaining in this lockdown, that you dedicate yourself and each hour of each day to God, and in what you're doing, give it back to God. Above all else, I pray that when you actually get back to work, you're going out of this place of rest. What would that look like in your life? I think you can see what it looks like in Psalm 127. I think you can see it in the life of Christ himself. Do we see it in our own lives? Do I see it in my life? Do you see it in yours? All the shoes are stacked in the cupboard under the stairs. We've done stuff, but have we genuinely rested? Good to see you again. Go with God, because I know God goes with you. See you soon.